We booked a round trip ticket, two round trip tickets from Newark, New Jersey to Rome, Italy in late June, traveling in late June through Cheapoair. And Cheapoair, despite the airlines giving refunds and credits, refuses to give us a full refund. They eventually promised that they would, and now it's been 2.5 months and we still have nothing. And they're also saying that we may have to wait 2 billing cycles before we would get our money. But they have not said that we have been approved for a refund. They said that they're going to try to get us a refund. So Cheapoair does not answer their phones. They don't treat their customers with good customer service, and they're not giving back a refund during a global pandemic where people are forbidden to travel to Italy. My name is Patricia Femia, and my husband Robert and I booked a round trip ticket from Newark, New Jersey to Rome, Italy on Cheapoair online back on September 3rd, 2019 for travel going to Rome round trip on June 23rd and coming back on July 3rd. This trip had some stops. We would have flown from Newark to Montreal on United Airlines, Montreal to Rome on Air Canada through United Airlines, and returning on SwissAir, going from Rome to Zurich, Zurich to Newark, New Jersey. We were all set to go. And then COVID-19, the coronavirus struck. Italy being one of the places that was under lockdown and strict quarantine. And so in the beginning of March, I called Cheapoair to tell them that there was a high likelihood that our cruise with Costa Lines, separate from Cheapoair though, we booked that through a travel agent, that it's highly likely that it was going to be canceled, the cruise, and that we were concerned because we would not be able to not only arrive in Italy, but we could not be traveling out of New Jersey from an airport because we also as a state are under lockdown. Cheapoair said you bought non-refundable tickets. I did have travel insurance that they sold me through TripMate, which I think is somehow related to Cheapoair. I don't know if it's a subsidiary or whatever. And I also mentioned that my husband should not be traveling anyway because of his age and some conditions that put him in a weakened state. Cheapoair said, too bad, it's a non-refundable ticket, and the total cost was $1,471. And they said if we wanted to get money refunded, we should go to the airlines. So mid-March, we went to Newark Airport. We drove there physically because, of course, all the airlines weren't answering their phones. And we went to the United Airlines desk, the Air Canada desk, and the SwissAir desk. And they all turned around and said, your flights are still going. If you cancel, then it would be your problem, but you really need to go through Cheapoair because they were the ones that act as the go-between, the middleman that purchased the tickets. So at that point, we went back to Cheapoair, and at that point, the coronavirus had worsened, and of course, the restrictions were starting to come here, and we would sit on the phone with them for sometimes on hold, trying to get through to a live voice, sometimes up to 6 hours. Obviously, we were doing other things, but had our phone on and plugged in. And then after about 6 hours, we would get disconnected. So this was going on every day. One day my husband would do it. One day I would do it. They also had a thing online called live chat. And it's the same thing. You go on hold and it will say your person number 1,200 or whatever. And we would be on live chat for hours and hours. And then suddenly it would say it was connecting and we would get disconnected. So it was very frustrating. I joined some groups on Facebook I don't have a Twitter account, but we have Facebook, and there's multiple groups on Facebook called I Hate Cheapoair or Cheapoair Consolidated Complaints Group, and quickly realizing that everybody else was having the same problem. And on the Cheapoair website, it would say, due to the coronavirus, we are unable to take phone calls right now. And I have screenshots of all of that. So when we finally were able to get through by posting on Facebook, um, I got a number of what they called a supervisor's number, and we were able to get through after being on hold for like an hour and a half. And when I finally got a live voice, they said you need to fill out some sort of online form, which we tried to do. And first it wasn't going through, and then second, we got immediately a thing that said you do not qualify. We also sent registered letters to Cheapoair, travel TripMate, which is the insurance, and we're getting the same runaround there. You can't get through on the phone. They just ignore you. So we finally now have a number that they do answer, and you have to be on hold for about 30 minutes. And then a supervisor, you always get a different supervisor, and I've made note of all their names. And now they're saying that we would qualify for a full refund of the $1,471, except minus the $95 for the travel insurance, which proved useless. And at this point, they don't want to put it in writing. And they said we have to escalate it to the concerned team, They won't give you copies. Well, one time I insisted they send me an email, and I did get an email stating that we would be getting a refund for the $1,471 minus the $95, but that it has to go through 2 monthly billing cycles. The other problem is I went to my credit card, Chase, to try to get them to dispute the charges. And unfortunately, I had canceled the credit card in November, and Chase, they don't have access to those records anymore. So the only way to get it is from Cheapoair. One time I got a supervisor on the phone, and I insisted that we call on a conference call to United Airlines. Okay. And we did that, and we got a person on United Airlines, and I have all this documented. And United Airlines said, oh, the leg between Montreal and Rome has been canceled by Air Canada. So yes, you are entitled to a refund, but it has to come from Cheapoair, because technically we paid them. United isn't going to refund us. So that's where we're at. I try to call every other day. I get a different supervisor. I make note of it. And some people on the Facebook website groups are saying that they are getting refunds, but there's others that say that when they give their credit card, they're charged some sort of a cancellation fee or change fee, which sometimes that is almost half the amount. Some people will get an email back that'll say, you're getting $1 refund. So I'm trying to pursue this. I've complained to the Department of Transportation, the Better Business Bureau, and the New Jersey State Attorney General's office. And that's what seems to be what everybody's doing. I did get a call back from one of the supervisors. They actually called me, and they said, you really should lay off social media, and you should not be complaining and posting, because that's not going to help your case. So that's where we're at. The solution that I'm looking to get is that I would like to get my $1,471 refunded. I don't want a credit. The reason I don't want a credit is because since the flights are on 3 different airlines, Cheapoair told me that if they gave me that credit, that I would have to fly the exact same route destination. So like I would have to be flying on a certain level of ticket from Newark to Montreal to Rome on those same airlines. And there's not a likely chance that I would be able to duplicate that exactly, because now our cruise is canceled anyway. And we're still under lockdown here in New Jersey, for example. The other problem is that, let's say, for example, they said, okay, we're going to give you a credit of $1,471, and you can use that anytime. And let's say I decide, okay, I'm going to fly to California for vacation instead when the restrictions are lifted. And let's say those flights only cost me $600. Well, if I went and booked that and used the $600, I wouldn't have another $800 credit. I would lose all of it. So I would have to find something that was $1,471 going to the same place or a little more, and I have to book it through Cheapoair. And I will never book something through Cheapoair again, especially reading what some of the other people are saying that some people have flights that are $600 they're trying to get back, and some people have flights for $8,000. So I'm kind of right in between. So what I'm looking to get is a full refund of $1,471 sent by check, because they can't put it back in my checking account. They asked me for my checking account my credit card number, a new credit card number, but I'm reluctant to give them a new credit card number since they're charging other people some sort of cancellation fees. I do have in writing that they are not going to charge me any sort of rebooking or cancellation fees. So either at least $1,471 by check, or $1,471 minus the $95 travel insurance charge. I'm willing to give up that. We don't want to wait 2 billing cycles, which is 2 months, because this started early March. So we're already 2.5 months into this, where we've been waiting and sending certified letters. And, every time I send a complaint to the DOT, the Better Business Bureau, all these different places, I send them certified mail. So it takes a long time. I would advise them to stay away from it, and definitely don't get the travel insurance through them. Maybe get travel insurance through your own credit card, but TripMate has proved to be completely useless. So if you're booking through TripMate, they're saying that nothing relating to COVID-19 is covered. Their insurance is for natural disasters like a hurricane or whatever, or illness in the family. We've provided a doctor's letter and on a form for them, and they've proved to be useless as well. And Cheapoair doesn't help us with them, even though they sold us the travel insurance through them. While we're understanding about the fact that there is a global pandemic, what they could do is answer their phones, not put up an announcement that they're not able to answer their phones and just leave you hanging, and send screenshots of these reminder emails that they're sending to the concerned team, who will not allow, they won't they won't talk to the customers directly, this concerned team. I think they need to be more customer service oriented and treat their customers. This isn't something we planned. It's not like, hey, I don't feel like going to Rome, so let's cancel our flight. This is a global pandemic where if we were to get on that plane and fly there, we're going to put ourselves at risk and put other customers at risk. So the airlines seem to be doing okay, but why is it that Cheapoair can't do a better job? The reason I've decided to go public is because if I could spare 1 or 2 people from using Cheapoair and getting completely screwed over like this, I hope I can help someone else. But I do hope that by going public that we will get our money refunded. Also, Cheapoair I've seen on some of these posts that they have actually threatened that they were going to sue people that went online and told others their story.